The reason there's so much gun violence today is because we don't have enough ultra-spiritual people with guns disarming other people with guns by threatening to shoot them with their guns. Think about this for a second. We should never deny the fact that there is evil in the world. That wouldn't be very spiritual of us. And let's face it, guns are super evil. Just look at them. They're scary. They make loud noises, and they're designed to kill. But if super spiritual enlightened people like me use those guns, then we can shoot away the evil, like the gun owners who refuse to give up their evil guns. But guns aren't just good to use against gun owners, they're good to use against all sorts of other non-spiritual or downright evil people as well. Did you know that you can use guns to create things like universal health care and public schools? Who can be against health care and education? You can't obtain enlightenment if you're sick or not educated. The way it works is this. You take your gun and point the killing end at someone evil. You know, like someone who has more money than you do. Then you politely ask them for their money and say something like, "It's for a super spiritual feel-good reason, bro. So hand over your money and don't defend yourself or I'll shoot you." And that would be just bad karma all around. And then you take that money and you give it to a doctor and you tell them, "Go help a poor, oppressed, marginalized soul. But do it in a super enlightened and spiritual way, or I'll shoot you." Now, obviously, I would never actually hold a gun or point it at people myself. I'm far too enlightened and frail to do that kind of work. Plus, it would just be bad karma and feel kind of icky. Like I was using the threat of violence to force people to do something or something like that. So my ultra-spiritual friends and I will just vote for a group of people and we'll call them government. That seems dignified and spiritual. And we'll make them point the guns and issue all the threats. Then we can continue to have all the ultra clean spiritual feelings, and the people called government don't have to feel icky because we gave them a super spiritual name and we invoke the spirit of the almighty social contract and the will of the people. Om. So in summary, guns should only be used to impose the will of ultra-spiritual and enlightened people like me to usher in a utopia. They should never be used for something as icky as recreation or defending yourself. Someone could really get hurt. Well, I should qualify that because sometimes super important ultra-spiritual enlightened people like Hollywood stars should be defended by people with guns. But they're the exception. The rest of you, well, you'll just have to be patient during home invasions and rapes and assaults and attempted murders. The people who are doing these things don't really mean it. They're just doing it because they don't have much money. And poor people aren't very spiritually enlightened. But don't worry, we'll use our guns in super spiritual ways to take money away from people who have more than us. And then we'll spread it around in such an enlightened fashion that it will usher in a utopia, and you won't have to worry about defending yourself anymore. So remember, guns are bad, and anyone who stands in our way will be shot. Namaste.